Hey guys, in this video we're going to cover how to use an external hardware effects processor in Cakewalk by BandLab. We'll be doing this to process a direct guitar track through the Avid 11 rack as an effects unit. Before watching this video, we recommend checking out our tutorial series on Cakewalk so you're prepared. Even if you're not necessarily using an external effects processor in Cakewalk, this video may still help you if you want to work on signal routing and sends in Cakewalk. To get this to work, you'll need an audio interface with line outputs and a hardware signal processor. I'm using the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 as my audio interface for this video. In Cakewalk, we just have a new project with a single direct guitar track at this point. There's two ways we're going to cover how to use an external effects processor. The first way is with a single track, and this is the easiest to set up. The second way is with multiple tracks on a send, such as if you want to use a reverb unit. Before we continue, I want to mention that I've set up my 11 rack to respond to a line input instead of the guitar signal, but that's a function that is specific to the 11 rack, so it's not really something everyone needs to worry about for this video. To make the connections, I hooked up the line output from the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 interface to the line inputs on the 11 rack, and then I connected the line outputs from the 11 rack to the 3/4 line inputs on the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20. No matter which technique we use, we need to create a track in Cakewalk that will record or play back the line input signal on the audio interface. Create a new audio track and set the input to 3/4 line input that we plugged into the 11 rack output. Then arm the track to record and press the input monitoring button to hear it back. Unfortunately, due to limitations in the screen capture software I'm using, we won't actually be able to hear the process signal from the 11 rack since it won't properly capture ASIO audio. But we will know it's working since the levels will be visible on the receiving track when armed for recording. For the first technique, sending one track to an external effects processor, all we do is set that track output to be the stereo output 3 on our audio interface, which is the one that the 11 rack is connected to. If these outputs are missing from your options and your audio interface does have additional line outputs, you need to enable them from the preferences menu. Now when we play our track, we'll hear the process signal on the new track. The second method will allow us to send multiple tracks to the same effects processor. For our multiple tracks, I'm going to set up a duplicate guitar track offset a little in time. We'll set this up as if it were a reverb send, even though I'm using the 11 rack as the hardware processor. What this means is that I want the dry signal to go to the master channel so we hear the direct guitar, but then also get a separate reverb track on top of that. First, make sure the output on both tracks is set to master. Now right-click on each track and select Insert Send and then Send to Output 3 from our audio interface just like last time. When working with plugin sends, we do this a little differently by creating either a bus or auxiliary track instead, but Cakewalk allows us to route a hardware send directly through the output. Expand the tracks downwards a little to see the send controls. Now we can just adjust the panning and volume for each track that goes to the send. Keep in mind with this technique, we still have the track set to receive the 11 rack's output, so if you just start with this technique, you still need to do that. Thanks for watching this video on setting up an external effects processor in Cakewalk by BandLab. If this video helped you out, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon to get notifications whenever a new video is released. You can also check the video description for links to social media accounts and products featured in this video.